Hey everyone, I wanted to show you some modifications that I've made to my FS12T Ascend kayak by adding outriggers, a mounting board for my trolling motor, raising my seat up 10 inches, putting foam matting in there for sound deadening, adding a little carrier basket, and adding onto the back a 4-rod holder system. The first thing that I did was I installed a 2x6 using stainless steel L brackets on the front and the back side of it. On the front, I installed a gear track so that I could remove the L bracket or the board, but really you don't have to do that. On the back, I simply took the L bracket and fastened it right down into the gunnel of the boat. And the reason that I put it on the front and the back is so when the motor kicks up, it doesn't torque or twist the board. The motor that I'm using is a 46-pound thrust Newport vessel, battery operated, telescoping handle that comes out with 5 forward speeds, 3 reverse speeds. It's great when I'm sitting in the seat. I can rest my left arm on it and motor along. You can put it on the other side if you're left-handed or right-handed. The second thing I did was, and I got some great ideas off of YouTube about using fence staking material, because the chair normally only sits 4 inches down in the bottom of this thing. So the top of my chair was even with the top of the gunnels, and I wasn't up very high. So what I did was I used fence staking, and I took a saw blade and cut it out. You can get a circular saw and do that, or you could keep it square. I just angled it off a little bit, used zip ties around the rungs, and I fastened it in the back with stainless steel screws and washers, zip tying the chair to the back of the fence staking that's screwed into the board with the stainless steel screws and washers. Pardon me, so I can raise this thing up and down. I've got 10 inches of storage under there for bait buckets, Plano boxes, mermaids, whatever I might catch out on the water, put underneath of there. And I bought this 1/4-inch EVA foam exercise mat from Walmart for 10 bucks. Cut it to lay on top of my hatch cover, to lay in areas where if I drop something, pliers or an anchor or something in the boat, it would make a lot of noise. So I use this for sound deadening. I installed this little pull-up rope system with an eye hook, so when I'm standing up from the seating position, I can use this to lift myself up with. It's kind of nice. The kayak comes with grooves in the flooring for the chair to sit in, and I filled those with 1/2-inch PVC so that I have a nice flat place to stand when I'm standing up from the chair, and you can see where your heels would stand there. So instead of the grooves being there, I just laid these pipes in there. They're just loosely laid in there, but I can stand flat. Comes with 1 rod holder and 2 in the back, but with the 2 in the back on either side, I went ahead and took, I think it's all 1.5-inch PVC, and used T's and crosses to make another 4-rod holder in the back. With my motor clamped on my motor board, I put the battery on the other side to compensate for the weight, and an egg crate on this side to hold other gear and things. You can see that I used a series of pipe clamps and L brackets, which I wrapped electrical tape around just to keep it quiet when it's in the water. And these aluminum poles slide in and out very easily for outriggers. I'll demonstrate that right here. These slide out very easily. I drilled holes in the end. I've got a cotter pin that goes through and slides into that to hold it in place. But these just slide through the pipe clamp and underneath of the L brackets to hold it down. I probably installed too many L brackets. You don't have to do all of that. But they slide in very easily. And here you can see where the pin would go through the hole, and then I've got a little cotter clip to hold it in place. So these slide in and out very easily, detach. My outriggers are made of 7-inch lobster floats that are 14 inches across, so back to back I've got 28 inches of lobster float. I glued them together using that yellow spray can adhesive foam from Lowe's or Home Depot. Ran pipe through with a T, came up here to a cross. I believe it's all 3/4-inch material. Painted the thing up, and these give incredible buoyancy. The further away from your kayak you are with a larger float, the more stable your kayak's going to be. These are mounted at center line 26 inches or 26 and a half to the center. I could have just gone 2 feet from the side, but it gives incredible stability to the kayak. Again, that's a 2x6 mounted with L brackets. This little bucket or basket I got from Walmart, you can put your pliers in, you can put a beverage, you can put radios or different things in there that you might need. My wheel carrier that I bought off of Amazon goes in the very back. This is the little wheel carrier. They advise not to stick things up through your scupper holes. I sealed my scupper holes with marine sealant, but they advise not buying the type of wheel carriers where the poles come up because it might break the welds. I don't know if that's true, but that's what somebody said. I'll slide this one out just to show you. Here's, again, these are 7-inch diameter, 14-inch a piece. I bought them up at St. Pete Fishing Outfitters and also Tampa Bay Outfitters up there. I installed a round pipe clamp and L brackets, and I put electrical tape around them just to cushion the sound if the metal is banging against metal. Again, the object is to be as quiet as you can on the water. That's why I got this thick, 1/4-inch thick foam mat to lay down in my kayak so that I'm not dropping things and it's sounding like a cannonball under the water and scaring the fish away. I strongly recommend, I got this off of Amazon also. I think I got 2 of them for $10. Incredible. It's wire, coil spring to Velcro around your oar or your paddle as you're going along. That's better than using rope, which can get tangled around your ankle, which actually happened to me. I also installed these little cleats that I can use for anchoring on either side of my chair. I installed handles on either side of the kayak. It doesn't come with that, only ones in the front and the back. And the cleats that I installed up front, I use a bungee cord for when my cooler sits in here. I bungee strap across the lid to hold the lid down because the fish are jumping sometimes in the cooler. And again, you can see that under the floor of these kayaks, if you get that kind of deck material that fits in between these things, that may look pretty, but it doesn't do anything for anything sitting on top of here that's making noise. So I just made a mat and just slid the whole thing down in there. Just lay it down in there, and I can take them out and wash them. Again, it gives a nice cushioning for sound deadening. So this kayak all in has 5 rod holders, 1 that comes with it. The 2 in the back I made turned into 4. So I got a total of 5. I got my 2x6 that's mounted with L brackets front and back. I've got pipe clamps and L brackets to hold my 3/4-inch aluminum rods that go out standard stock length from Home Depot or Lowe's, and they hold the 2 lobster floats that are glued together. You could call them lobster or crab floats. I painted it, put a little eye on there, and again I got a T in here, upside down T, and that's a cross where it all just glues and goes together. And then I do have crick releases at the ends if I just want to pop my floats off, but I don't really ever need to do that. They slide in and out so easily. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned that it's a 46-pound thrust trolling motor that I use. 5 forward speeds, 3 reverse speeds. Great for motoring along. I can rest my left arm on it as I'm motoring along. So there it is. The kayak itself is 2 feet on the inside, 31 inches on the outside, and with these sticking off 26 inches on either side.